Forget everything you thought you knew about City's attack. It's the end of 2025, and Pep's evolved his machine into something absolutely mental. 5 different weapons, 3 ways to kill you, and 1 Brazilian nobody saw coming, who's turned this front line into an absolute nightmare.
I don't understand. It's for the health of the players, for the spectacle, I don't understand how we survive today.
By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why defenders circle City on the fixture list, and just pray their manager parks the biggest bus they can find. Let's break it down. Today, we're diving deep into how Manchester City's 2025-26 attack became football's most complete killing machine. We'll break down the front 5, the patterns that cook defenses alive, and how they generate tap-ins on demand, and the new big wrinkle that quietly makes everything click. Let me introduce you to City's 5-headed monster, Erling Haaland, the Terminator. This guy is genuinely ridiculous. Minimal touches, maximum chaos. Haaland's entire game is built around elite positioning and scary finishing. He's obsessed with that near-post channel, darting across defenders, meeting cutbacks with 1 touch. The mad thing? He only touches the ball like 22 times per match. 22! But he'll bag 2 goals from 3 shots. That's the Haaland effect.
Drücken sie weiter. Doku setzt sich hier richtig stark durch und dann Haaland!
Phil Foden, the conductor. Foden's evolved, mate. He's not just a winger anymore. He's become this hybrid creator who floats between the touchline and those dangerous half spaces. Watch him closely. He receives the ball on the half turn, hips open, scanning. 1 second he's wide right, next second he's ghosting into the box unmarked. Defenders can't track him because he's everywhere and nowhere at once.
Gast bei Manchester City. Die Citizens das Team mit dem ersten Treffer dieser Partie in der 22. Minute. Phil Foden.
Jeremy Doku, the isolator. Here's where it gets fun. Doku is pure chaos. Show him a 1v1 situation and he's backing himself every single time. Left foot, direct, absolutely rapid. When Doku gets the ball with space, defenders panic. They double up, which opens gaps everywhere else. Even when he doesn't score, he's creating penalties, cutbacks, deflections, just absolute carnage.
Doku, lovely, all the way!
Savio, the new weapon. This is the name you need to remember. 21 years old, Brazilian, left-footed, and he's been a revolution. Savio came from Girona and he's brought something City's been missing, that pure direct wing threat who can float crosses to the far post with disgusting accuracy. Pep said it himself, when he's 1v1, he's devastating. The kid ranks in the 97th percentile for progressive carries. That's insane. He's turning into Haaland's perfect supplier. Oscar Bob plus the def weapons. Bob's the wild card, fought back from a broken leg that cost him most of last season, and now he's hungry. Small space creativity, press resistance, can play Foden's role with more driving runs. Plus, City's got Bernardo Silva when needed. They rotate these guys to keep everyone fresh and terrified. Omar Mamouche was signed in January 2025 for £59 million. He arrived mid-season, yet still made a mark. 8 goals and 3 assists in 22 appearances for the club in 2024-25. Man City needed pace, unpredictability, a forward who can attack from wide, and he's delivering. Ryan Cherky joined in June 2025 for €36.5 million. Already in his early appearances, he's shown glimpses. Goal on debut, big contributions in Europe, and he's not the main striker, he's the creator forward the hybrid City have lacked. Bernardo Silva, the mind that makes it all work. In a team full of stars, Bernardo Silva is still Manchester City's quiet genius, the player who makes the orchestra play in tune, while others grab headlines. Bernardo dictates rhythm. His heat maps tell the story. He's everywhere and nowhere at once. One moment, he's helping Rodri win back the ball. The next, he's threading the needle through a back 5. Last season, he completed over 90% of his passes in the final third, an absurd stat for someone constantly under pressure. What makes Bernardo terrifying isn't just his technique, it's his brain. Pep trusts him like no other, shifting him from midfield to false 9, from winger to deep-lying playmaker, and somehow he still makes it look effortless. In 2026, with Cherki's flair and Marmoush's chaos ahead of him, Bernardo becomes the connector, the invisible architect behind every attacking wave. When City builds from the back, it's Bernardo who draws defenders in, before releasing the perfect pass that starts the storm. Right, here's where it gets tactical. City don't just turn up and vibe their way to goals. Every pattern is rehearsed, refined, deadly. City still favour their fluid 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 hybrid, but the attack now morphs depending on the phase. In the pressing phase, you'll see a front three with constant rotation, Haaland central but often drifting, Marmoush wide stretching lines, Cherki dropping between the lines. In possession, expect the wide forwards to drift inside, the fullbacks to overlap at high tempo, Cherki shuttling in half spaces, Haaland occupying two centre-backs. The result? Overloads, unpredictability, full backward systems unraveled. A. The 3-2-5 possession shell. In possession, City morph into this 3-2-5 shape. 3 centre-backs or 2 CBs plus an inverted fullback like Rico Lewis tucking in, double pivot pulling strings, and 5 attackers stretching you horizontally. Doku wide left, Savio or Foden wide right, Haaland pinning centre-backs, and someone floating between the lines. The aim? Simple. Create that cutback lane. They overload one side, say Foden and the fullback combine. Drag your defense over, then switch. Fast ball to Doku on the opposite flank. He drives to the byline, pulls it back, and Haaland or Foden's arriving into space for a tap-in. It's like clockwork. B. The counter engine. City's rest defense sits high, really high. When they win the ball, the rule is brutal. First pass forward, no messing about. Foden or Savio attack the space. Haaland sprints across his marker's blind side, and suddenly you're facing a 3-second transition with City players running at an unbalanced defense. The XG on those chances? Through the roof, because you're caught cold. C. Third man runs and wide overloads. Classic Pep stuff here. City create a 2v1 situation wide. Doku pulls the fullback against your fullback. You have to help, right? So your centre-back or midfielder tucks over. That's when City play the third man run, a quick bounce inside to Foden or whoever's lurking, and he releases someone behind your defense with a disguised through ball. You're cooked before you realize what's happened. D. The near post gospel. Haaland loves the near post because it kills the keeper's angle. City rehearse this religiously. One runner front post, usually Haaland, one arriving at the penalty spot, Foden, one fast stick, Savio. The ball comes in, and someone's always free. It's tactical perfection. Here's the juicy bit that makes City even scarier this season. In the past, City would often work it wide first, get the ball to Doku or whoever, then create from there. But this season, there's a subtle shift. They're looking to feed their playmakers earlier, especially Foden and Savio, before defenses can fully set. Watch what happens. City win the ball or build from the back, and instead of methodically working it around, they punch a pass into Foden in the half space or Savio on the touchline immediately. The nearest defender has to step, which breaks the defensive line. The near ball midfielder turns his body and loses sight of Haaland. From there, 2 things happen. Either Foden slips a pass to Doku, who's now 1v1 with momentum, or Savio drives and delivers an early cross to Haaland, arriving on the run, not standing still in a packed box. It sounds small, but it is massive. It means City skip a pass, defenders arrive 1 beat late, and suddenly Haaland's getting service in dangerous areas, instead of getting wrestled by 2 centre-backs. It makes them way less predictable, especially against teams sitting in a low block. Let's zoom in on what makes each player tick. Haaland, the finishing lab. Movement-wise, Haaland does this brilliant double movement. He drifts off the defender's blindside, making them think he's not a threat, then explodes into space right as the ball arrives. Most of his flashes, one touch, 8 to 12 yards out. High XG stuff. The counterintuitive bit, he often arrives late to avoid wrestling early. It's delayed acceleration, and it's genius. Foden, the conductor. Foden receives on the half turn in that right half space, hips always open. His body shape lets him hit Savio wide or switch inside to Haaland with one touch. When the fullback stays home marking Doku, Foden dribbles inward to drag the midfield pivot, then releases the winger. His finishes are disguised, curlers to the far post, or low-driven strikes near post. Class. Doku, isolation science. Give Doku the ball early with runway. Don't wait until he's marked by two players. The setup matters. Underlaps from the fullback or decoy overlaps pin the opposition fullback. Once Doku's isolated, it's chaos. Fouls, penalties, cutbacks. Even if he doesn't score, he creates havoc City capitalize on. Omar Marmoush, the relentless charger. Nobody expected Omar Marmoush to become one of Europe's most dangerous forwards. Yet, here he is, wearing Manchester City blue. From the streets of Cairo to Frankfurt's breakneck counterattacks, Marmoush built his name on hunger, not hype. He isn't the flashiest, but every run has a purpose. Every touch carries intent. At Frankfurt, he recorded 17 goals in 41 games, numbers that forced Pep Guardiola to take notice. Now, in City's system, his pace and directness add a weapon the club never truly had, a forward who thrives in chaos. When Haaland drags centre-backs inside, Marmoush explodes into the space they leave. He's not just a signing, he's City's new shockwave. Ryan Cherki, the magician between the lines. Ryan Cherki is what happens when street football meets tactical genius. At just 21, he's already rewriting what creativity looks like in the Premier League. At Lyon, Cherki was the spark. 20 assists last season, dribbling through defenses like they were puzzles meant for him alone. Pep Guardiola doesn't want players who execute, he wants players who improvise, and Cherki is built for that. Two-footed, unpredictable, and annoyingly confident. He turns dull possession into danger in seconds. In City's new 2026 attack, he's the artist, painting through balls for Marmoush and Haaland, making defenses question whether they're watching football or art. Savio, the supplier. Savino's best quality? Progressive carries and far post deliveries. He ranks in the 94th percentile for successive take-ons, over 3 per match. When he beats his man on the outside and whips in a left-footed cross, Haaland's peeling to the back post. It's lethal. He's still refining his finishing and decision-making, but the raw talent is scary. Bob, the fresh legs. Bob brings intensity and press resistance. He can run Foden's role, but with more carrying power. After injuries derailed his breakthrough, he's back and hungry. Don't sleep on him. He scored a last-minute winner at Newcastle last season. He's got that killer instinct. City's set pieces look simple, but they are layered deception. Corners. One runner blocks at the front post to drag a marker away. One player crashes the penalty spot late. Haaland peels to the far post for flick-ons or volleys. Someone is always free. Short corner variants. Foden receives short, a teammate blocks the chaser. Doku holds wide to freeze the fullback. They recycle to the edge of the box for a clean strike. Simple but effective. Free kicks. Foden's outswingers target that zone between the 6-yard box and penalty spot. Less traffic, better contact quality. Haaland attacks the space. High throw-ins. City treats these like mini set pieces. Quick give and go to Doku. Cross before the block arrives. Micro goals that add up. Every team that faces City has the same nightmare. How do you stop 5 threats? Plan A. Low block, 5-4-1. Deny the half spaces, double Doku, sit deep. Problem. Foden ghosts into gaps, Savio finds space, and one lapse equals a cutback goal. You're defending for 90 minutes. Eventually, you crack. Plan B. High press. Jump on City's build-up, suffocate them early. Problem. If you get beaten, Doku or Savio is running at your fullback in acres of space. Haaland sprinting behind. It's a track meet you're losing. Plan C. Hybrid jump. Start passive, then press aggressively on the back passes. Problem. City's rest defense is built for this. They win it back and counter within 3 seconds. The early feed system means they're ahead of your defensive shape before you reset. The catch-22 is you can't cover all 5 threats and protect the switch and win aerial duels. City just pick whichever lock you leave open. How does City's attack shape up against Europe's elite? Versus Real Madrid, Madrid's got fluid interchanges and individual brilliance. City are more repeatable, structured chance creation you can rely on. Versus Bayern Munich, Bayern attack vertically through the middle with power. City are wider and more ruthless on the byline with those cutbacks. Versus PSG, PSG are lightning in transition. City can do transition and break down settled defenses with positional play. That's the difference. City's unique advantage? They manufacture high XG shots on demand. Plan A stalls, the early feed system, and Doku isolations are the Plan B. Foden's late arrivals are Plan C. All roads lead to Haaland inside 12 yards. Nothing is perfect, but here's where City could get hurt. Injury stacking on the wings. If Doku and Savio go down simultaneously, spacing collapses, Haaland's service dips. Over-reliance on Foden. If teams man-mark him hard, City need Bernardo or Bob to recreate that link-up role. Transition defense on rotation nights. When the backline's rotated, that first counter can bite, especially against elite counters attacking the channel behind inverted fullbacks. The antidote? Depth. That's where Bob and City's squad rotation matters across 60-match seasons. So, there you have it. Manchester City's 2025-26 attack isn't terrifying because of one superstar. It's terrifying because they can beat you in 3 different modes: positional play that strangles you, transitions that catch you cold, and set pieces you can't defend. The early feed system is the new wrinkle that elevates this attack from great to almost inevitable. Every touch from Doku, Foden, Savio, and Haaland carries genuine threat. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more tactical deep dives, and comment below which duo scares you more, Foden and Haaland or Doku and Savio. I'll feature the best answers in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.